Hello, listeners. This is the NPG Podcast.
Great conversation, Brian.
I got the music going. Yes, it's all delayed, Steven, so hopefully you'll hear the song, the opening here in a minute, or Matt will, sorry. Now, Matt, what do you need to do before we start this?
He's probably handling the dogs or something.
Oh. Well, while he's gone, let's go ahead and just do this then. Welcome to the NPG Podcast, number 34. I am one of your hosts, Brian Dahl. With me is the voice of the North, Stephen Fortune.
What up?
And Matt, the Action Jackson, had to go walk his dog.
I had to feed them something.
Feed them.
I had to bribe them.
Okay. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Okay, there that went. Very special episode. Do we know why?
Special? Special why?
You know why?
Is it because we get candy?
Yeah, there it is.
Is it because Brad Pitt's finally single? Oh my god,
oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay. Sorry, I got a little hot there.
And heavy.
No.
Cancels.
Well, I mean, I guess that could be a reason why, but the real reason why is because we are now live on Twitch.
Wow.
Twitch.tv/Nerd Theory 1. So if you are listening to this, please follow us. It will help us out a lot since we're starting a new venture, which we'll get into a little bit later. But before we go into topics, what's everybody been doing? We took a week off.
Oh, shit.
Twitch just crashed my computer.
Yes, it does. Because why not?
Twitch, amazing. Crashed my computer. I've been playing Fallout like there's no tomorrow. I told Brian exactly how many hours I've put into this game, and it's
30 days, over 30 days total.
33 days now, I think.
Fuck.
33 days, yeah.
Holy.
I mean, it's been out since November. That's fair.
If you
Right?
say so.
Right?
Sure. Why not?
I thought like putting 22 hours into New Vegas was a lot. Holy shit.
Oh no, New Vegas, I put in 200 hours.
Fuck. But is that like actual hours or just like leaving it on overnight and like sleeping and shitting hours?
No, those are actual hours.
It's not like you, Steven, where you just leave
right.
that PS4 on and you go do whatever.
I'm not trying to
Well,
grind anything
you mean
that
everybody
needs
doesn't
to
do
time
that?
away.
I try not to.
I shut it off every time. So, yeah, I don't know. I've always loved Fallout. This isn't where I thought we'd be at this point in time with the new gen systems, but it's still a fun game.
Yeah.
So, and I don't even have any mods to play with. God, I'd probably be playing for another couple months if I could have access to the mods. Thanks,
Yeah, really.
Sony.
Yeah, thanks, Sony.
Yeah, that went well.
Other than that, working.
Okay. All right, so moving on,
Working,
Steven.
What have I been up to? Working.
Shit.
Myself as well.
He's been working himself on
Straight rehab. Yes, Brandy, it is working.
What? What's going on?
She'll get that in about 10 minutes.
Okay. Did she leave a message?
Yeah.
Oh God! Stop it, Brandy. You'll get that in about 10 minutes or 10 seconds, whatever.
Yep. 10 minutes or so. That seems to be the delay. No, it's about 10 seconds.
Dang it, Brandy.
And just keep and if you guys want to keep an eye on the comments, that's fine while you have Twitch muted. I'm not sure how much we can actually get into the comments since we do have subjects to get into. So we're not trying to ignore you or anything like that, Twitch viewers. Talks amongst yourself for the most part. Maybe we can get to you if there's kind of a lull in between the topics. So we're not
this shit like a hawk.
we're not trying to be rude. Let's put it that way.
I'll watch the chat. See what happens.
Yeah. What happened while we were gone? Oh, Last Guardian got delayed. Do we care?
We care. We're not surprised.
Okay. Fair enough. Is that a game that you're actually going to buy?
At this point, no. I'm gonna wait. I mean, I'm gonna buy it if it holds out to, some of my friends and, including you if you get it. But some of my friends who I know are gonna be getting it, I gauge it on their reaction. People that I have mutual taste with.
Okay. Fair enough. Anything else going on that was major? I don't think there was.
Power
Brad
Rangers.
and Angelina.
Yeah, I know. Which I'm happy for. Call me Brad. No, that happened, but really, who gives a shit? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do, but hopefully no one on this podcast. Right?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one.
No, I mean,
only nerds care about that stuff.
actually, nerds don't care about
Wait.
that.
I mean, that's, yeah.
All right, fantastic. What did I do? Nothing. I felt bad last week. That's why we had to postpone it. But I've done a lot of stuff in between to make up for it, which we'll talk about here on the fourth topic. So topic-wise, so let's see here. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Steven, what's your topic?
Well, first of all, you cut me the fuck off when I was telling you what I did last week.
Oh, I did?
What?
So my topic is how much I hate you.
Okay, fair enough.
No.
I'm your hero. Never have been. Okay, go ahead.
Never was. Okay, so I haven't really done a whole lot.
Alrighty. So going to your topic now.
Can I finish? Excuse me. Can I finish?
Got it. Okay.
I got it. Okay, so what I did, I got No Man's Sky back from the library, and I also got Lego Jurassic World. So Rain and I were playing that, and then that's when we got the brilliant idea to possibly start streaming on Nerd Theory. So we may do that this weekend.
Okay, cool. Because I'm doing the same thing with the wife too. So we'll have a couple of different segments hopefully.
Yeah.
You said the woman.
Did I?
You almost said
The woman.
The person I live with. Conjugate.
Like,
No,
happy tutor.
gonna bust in this room right now. What'd you say?
Oh dear God, what have we done?
Steven, go ahead.
Alright, so what I wanted to talk about today is the emotional times in media where we just get like grabbed by the throat and then just the show or movie or whatever it is just beats the fuck out of us and says, guess what, you're now sad about this.
Damn.
Yeah.
Let me set up a scene for you.
Okay.
Like I often do.
Okay.
The year is 1997.
You got me.
An enterprising young man by the name of Stephen P. Fortune
Mm-hmm.
is watching Beast Wars, his favorite TV show. Oh no, Dinobot's in trouble. Spoilers for the show, by the way, people. This 20-year-old show now has a spoiler tag.
But Dinobot's gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, of course he is. It's TV. Come on. So, Dinobot is fighting off the Predacon menace as they try to halt human evolution from continuing by killing the first early man. But something goes wrong. Dinobot has sacrificed himself to save the humans. What? Oh, he's just a fucking transformer. Fucking Waspinator dies every episode. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It's not fine. It's not fine.
What?
Dinobot gives a fucking saddening speech about how he must be judged not for what he has done, but for what he has done. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But then
That was deep. That was deep.
Right. So he gives a heartwarming speech, and everybody gathers around his dead body, and he fucking his spark ascends to the Matrix with all the heroes and whatnot. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like fucking Beast Wars of all things.
Okay.
As
Okay.
he's
So wait a minute.
sitting on the floor,
How old
bawling
are
like
you?
an idiot.
How old are you?
I don't know, like fucking 14.
Okay.
maybe? So I was thinking about actually specifically today. That part comes to mind, but I was thinking specifically today about the scene in Trigun where Wolfwood does his little death speech.
Mm-hmm.
Don't.
Oh god, you're getting mad. I'll start it up.
And you got the music in the background. It's all like soulful. Hallelujah, and that fucking whole musical number there. And I'm just like, I had to go back and watch that today on my lunch, and I'm just like, fuck, man, that was harsh. And it made that I had to change my topic today because I wanted to ask you guys about things and scenes from movies, TV shows, games, whatever, that have had such an emotional impact on you that maybe you don't even want to go back to watch them anymore. Like Armageddon. I cannot watch that movie because the very ending, I don't know what it was. Like fucking, it's like fucking Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck, like the two least emotional actors I've ever heard of. I'm just like watching the scene where these like yelling at each other. It's like, you big and he's like, no, Bruce Willis. And I'm just like fucking, again, bawling my eyes out like a fucking idiot. And I can't watch this movie because I don't want to relive that. It was painful. It was painful for me.
So
That's how I feel about Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain. All right.
No,
no, we're sticking with that. You already put it out there.
You know what? That's actually another one. That made me kind of tear up a bit. It wasn't balling on the floor like Dinobot style, but
I never watched
that was
it again.
Fly in a circle.
I felt bad for him, man.
Yeah.
I watched it halfway through, and then I had to leave the person's house I was watching it at. There's a girlfriend at the time, and I think I forced myself to leave. I was like, this is enough.
Like, I got something in my ass.
Now,
That's all it is.
are you asking just like any media in general? I mean, can it be a game? Can it be a television show? Can it be a movie?
Yeah, it could be really anything, really.
And a follow-up question to that, does it have to be sad?
It would have to be something that invoked a saddening feeling to you.
Okay.
I mean, fucking,
Because-
if it's any
first thing-
feeling.
When I'm thinking about emotional investment, I think about Goku when he first went Super Saiyan and the first time you're watching that shit. And, well, maybe you guys not so much, but me, when I first watched Goku go Super Saiyan, I felt like just all the blood just in my body just heated up. I was like, this is the best thing ever.
It only took 500 episodes to get here.
Hey,
What?
you have 5 minutes to live, Goku. 40 episodes later. This is a tough planet. Shut up, Frieza. You're a damn liar.
You could actually probably pull off a good Frieza impression. If you tried.
I don't think that's a compliment, but I didn't try. Maybe I should.
Well, let's see here. My immediate response, since we're getting to the anime, is the end of Cowboy Bebop for the first time. The last episode. And it wasn't that it was unexpected. It was just the music hit, and that's what brought it down. With the choir and all that, you know, yeah, like the children chanting, or I don't know if it's chanting, but singing, chanting.
It'd be
We
a chanting,
love the
'cause they
devil.
pretty much say the
Devil
same
loves
thing over
us.
and over again.
But
Is
and
that what
then
they were saying?
and then like the whole credit scenes, you're kind of going through. I don't know, like I watched the credits anyway, but like this one I wasn't even paying attention trying to pay attention to who was doing what in the series. I was just like watching in very disbelief about what I had just witnessed and how it just ended. Because there was no resolution to like what happened, what's going on with Faye and Jet? Did they hook up? Did they go their separate ways? What's going on? Or anything like that, or any kind of response to him dying from the other cast or from the other, you know, characters in the show. And I think that's what bothered me the most. And I don't know. It was the never knowing. I think that upset me more than Spike dying. Sorry, spoiler alert for this anime that's 20 years old.
Whoa.
And I just think it was that. I was just floored. And I've seen him over again. It didn't affect me that way to where I didn't want to see it, but I still get kind of, I still get a little emotional in a way, whenever I see that ending. Another one, from a video game, talking about like getting very emotional, and I was sick that day too, so I don't know if I was just tired or what, or maybe it did really have an impact on me. It was called Brothers.
Oh yes, I've heard of that.
It was on the PS3 when I played it, and the whole thing, if I remember correctly, is that you played as two brothers. The twin sticks controlled each one, and you're trying to find something for your dad's sake, and you're trying to find the cure. And Jesus, and the end of the game.
You tearing up over there?
The end of the game. One of the brothers kicks it, and the other one, and he drags the other one all the way back home from the journey. And you actually play for a little bit, you dragging the body back through where you came from.
Oh.
And then
Jesus Christ.
I know, it was just like, God. And then like Brandy came home and I'm like all swelling up in the eyes, and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I don't know." That's the last thing that got like a very astounding sadness that came over me. If I had to put another one, I would probably say, like, not that it made me sad, it just got me thinking more. Was the end of The Last of Us, which we've talked about in the past. So those are the ones that come to mind.
Nice. I've got a couple I was thinking of that I thought Brian was going to go into, but then I realized he pokes fun at this because he's a heartless son of a bitch.
You don't know my mom, okay? Don't say that.
You're the heartless one.
Okay.
I'm not calling her both. I think of Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think of little Nina.
There's so many great memes out there of that. But go ahead.
Little Nina, what was her name? Tucker. And the whole Chimera thing. Just, I'm not even gonna fucking talk about it. No. Fuck it. You guys can deal with that on your own. That shit's messed up. If you don't know about that out there in Radioland, watch Full Metal Alchemist. Great series.
And that's in both iterations of it too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Both iterations are great.
Okay.
But Nina Tucker's fucked up, that whole thing. Jesus, I don't know how you're not brokenhearted with that, Brian and Steven, both. You guys both have
apparently because I'm a heartless son of a bitch.
Well, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
In your defense though, Matt, I laugh at it now, but at the time when I first watched it, I was the same way. I didn't like cry or anything over it. I was just like, oh my God, they went there. And I wasn't expecting them to go there. So, no, I get it.
I think the fact for me is more on Alexander's standpoint, the dog, because I am just fucking weak when it comes to animals. Mm-hmm. And seeing that sadness in its face just breaks my heart every time. Another one that's very strange and personal, and I wish I could say I was sick that day to give me some excuse, but there is absolutely no excuse to this whatsoever, except being young and stupidly emotional for stupid reasons. But I used to play World Heroes a lot. Any of you guys familiar with that game?
Somewhat.
Yep.
It was a Street Fighter kind of game. And I played it a lot. And I played with one character exclusively. Played with Fuma. He's a guy with red hair, and he does this cool little, like, Street Fighter type moves. And I was really vested into that character. Like, I put myself into that character. And, one day I was, like, fighting around with another character to see, like, how the story progressed with them instead. And I had to come across Fuma and beat him up. And I remember, keep in mind, I'm probably like 10, just to give some age perspective here. And I beat up Fuma, and I watch him, like, slowly, because the way you die in that game is a slow, like, pan of your body falling to the ground and going, oh. I'm like, no! I remember crying. I was just like, why'd I hurt myself? So, yeah, ridiculous, I know.
Let's see, I'm trying to think of a movie that really did it for me. I can tell you one right now. It's called My Life. Came out in, like, during the 90s. Has Michael Keaton in it, and he's dying of cancer, but Nicole Kidman's pregnant the entire majority of the time that he's ill. And so he keeps on he makes all these videotapes for his future son or daughter, so they won't forget him, or he'll always, like, he's doing one for, like, every part of their life, like, whether it's, like, shaving. I think they know they're having a boy at this point, so he's doing one for, like, how to shave, and how to do this, and how to do that. And there's one point where he does a video saying, you know, your mom, she's gonna want to maybe be with, you know, she's not gonna want to be lonely, so you have to understand that she's gonna want to see other people, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. And then she came in here while he was making that part of the video and just like laid into him. And it wasn't because she was mad. It was the fact that this, like, I guess to her in the movie, it was just, that's when it got real. And like from that point on to the end of that movie, I'm done. I'm done. I can't handle it. I don't think I've seen that movie since I got married to my wife. And then she saw it for the first time, and she's crying longer than I am. She's like, "Why did you show me this movie?" I'm like, "I don't know." So,
Jeff,
You know,
Wood movie.
Speaking of the animal thing, one thing I'll never watch is Marley and Me, because thank God somebody said to me that, oh, the dog dies in the end. I'm like, fuck, not watching it. Nope.
Yep. Same
Don't
reason
give a
I'm
shit.
avoiding it.
But
Like, you see all the fucking marketing materials with the cute little puppy, and it's like,
Oh, no.
that.
there is a movie coming out, though, and I am going to watch it, and I know I'm going to fucking cry. Something about, I sorry it escapes me now, but it's a movie about a dog that gets reincarnated through.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Lifetime.
saw that.
Oh, no, I
I
was
heard
showing
my wife
I was-
watching that trailer.
God, I was showing that to Laura, and we're both just like already about to break down. We're like just watching the damn trailer.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't watch it, but I just said, like I said to her, I'm like, that's the kind of movie I think I'd want to watch by myself.
Oh yeah,
So nobody can see my shame.
yep. And there'd definitely be some shame in that movie. Because
One of our commenters mentioned that roller coaster scene. I'm not sure what they're referring to.
How do you see the comments? I don't get to
The
see
roller
those.
coaster scene. Are you talking about My Life? It might be My
Is
Life
there-
because they went to an amusement park and everything was actually looking okay for that character, and they're at the roller coaster or at the amusement park next to the roller coaster, and he goes and he stops Nicole Kidman. He goes, "You know what today is?" She goes, "No." He goes, "It's D-Day." And she goes, "What?" She goes, "I was supposed to die by today." That might be what they're referring to.
Yep. That's it.
Oh, I just thought of one more. Another one on kind of a personal level. Requiem for a Dream.
Wow, that's a feel-good movie of the year.
Well, yeah. I mean, let alone the movie's already fucked up, but the mom in that movie,
Mhm.
she reminds me a lot of my mom. And my mom, I mean, she's a great woman, but she's very obsessed with vitamins and stuff. And seeing this woman go down that path that she went made me feel just so emotionally wrecked after watching it. I remember after watching this movie, I curled over in fetal position and just sat there for like 15, 30 minutes. I didn't cry. I was like shut down. Done.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, and
I mean, everybody gets theirs at
Yeah.
the end of that movie. It could
Yeah.
be anything, but I remember that was one of the big reasons for me.
very underappreciated movie.
Fuck yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah. Anybody else before we move on?
Steven, you got some more?
Yeah, like, okay, the James Patterson novel, Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas. Okay.
Not where.
So it's kind of like, it's kind of presented in like a diary format where this couple is writing a diary for their, to be born baby.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh yeah, everything's great and fine. Hey, this happened, that happened. Yeah. And at the very end, spoilers, it turns out that the mother got into a car crash and they both died. And the father is still writing this diary just to kind of, I don't know, maybe get the feelings out. And I'm just like, I remember I was at work and I'm sitting in the bathroom stall, not doing anything, just reading, just kind of hide from people. And I'm just like fucking just, and I was like trying to contain my raw emotion.
Mm.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So I never read that book again. I loved it. It was great, but I've never looked at it again because I know what happened again. I know I'll get sad again. Very tragic.
Okay. Well, that was good. Now, let's move on. I'll go next because the fourth topic I'm gonna have to talk about more, and I just don't want to talk for 2 segments. Yeah. So now I have to preface this. Number one, I got this idea because I heard another podcast and they mentioned this. Number two, I'm part of this text thing with like one of those temporary employment agencies, and when they find a job they think that I like, it automatically texts me like, hey, such and such is hiring at something an hour, are you interested? And you reply yes or no. So one day, and this was a couple weeks ago, I got one of those, and it says, do you want to drive for Google for $13 an hour? And I replied, hell yes I do. I didn't say that, but I just replied yes.
This guy's professional. Let's hire him.
Yeah, I know. And so, but nothing ever came of it. I didn't get a call back for an interview or anything like that. They filled the position like the next day immediately. So this isn't going to happen for me. But initially I thought, well, they want me to drive these cars that have the cameras so they can take pictures for like Google Maps and shit. That's what I kind of figured it was. But then I started looking into it more. Google's developing self-driving cars. And they're already being tested in other markets. And I was like, oh, well, maybe that might have been it. And then I started thinking about it. So I dived a little deeper. And it said, like, like accidents or something like that. There's only been one accident. And it was the driver's fault. It wasn't
the Tesla one?
No, it was, I wish I could remember who it was. It wasn't Tesla, though. But yeah, the driver was the one who ran into it.
Yes. So
I think they backed out into it.
Yeah, maybe. But so essentially, it wasn't even the program's fault. I think it was a Lexus, maybe. Anyway, so this got me thinking, and there's a few questions that I want to pose to you two. Number one, self-driving cars. How do you feel about it? Like, are you just like, for me, and I'll just go ahead and start this off. For me personally, I'm like, no.
Okay.
And the reason why is like, and it's from my own psyche, right? Where I feel I need to be in control. So I'm going to start with this question first. And you guys can go ahead before I get to the second question because I might factor in.
Oh, go ahead now?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
Okay. I thought you were going to keep going on that for a minute. Steven, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I just want to say, the computer which controlled the machines, Skynet. Sent two
exactly.
Terminators back in time.
Yep.
So no, fuck the machines. They're gonna like fucking nuke us and create the machine city 01, and then they're gonna blot out our sun wait, we're gonna do that. We're gonna blot out the sun.
Isn't it?
Yeah, we
I'm
do that.
mixing
That's
movies
Matrix.
together.
Right.
Yes.
I know, I'm aware.
Okay, you're just combining. Gotcha. All right.
You're a
Yeah.
werewolf.
I'm just generalizing.
Okay.
Well, good. I'm glad you guys feel that way.
I'm with you, Brian. Like, I need control.
Having driven some cars that are almost self-driving.
You mean like what do you mean like cruise control?
No.
Oh.
I'm not even sure if I told you this before. When I first moved here, I sold cars,
Yes.
and that means the newest and flashiest and most expensive because I sold Audi,
Mhm.
and Volvo, and Volvo is pretty goddamn amazing. They have a goal by this year, and I haven't been able to follow it, but this year is supposed to be 0 fatalities in their cars.
Okay.
And that's pretty damn impressive considering most places go, yeah, by the year 2030, we're going to, do something amazing. But that gives you enough time to forget about it.
Yeah.
They were saying this last year.
Mm.
This is not something you're going to forget.
Yeah.
By 2020, they want to have 0 serious accidents. And they do a great job of this with their design. Hands down, if you need the safest car in the world, to go Volvo.
Yeah.
So, they're just expensive as shit. But, and yeah, many people I sold Volvos to, they kept saying the same thing. I'm only buying this because I would have died any other way in my wreck. So, but anyway, Volvo does have a car that, Volvo has a car that practically does self-drive. That's the XC90. And I've driven around town. It's pretty neat. It's not exactly Skynet style, this kind.
Okay.
This kind, what it is,
Where they don't kill you?
Right. No, it's not hooked up to like a grid or anything like that. What it is it has cameras and designs in it that will monitor your surroundings and drive accordingly. The weirdest part about it is if you're driving normal and this mode is on, if you start to veer to the left or right, the cameras on the side of the car will pick up the lines on the side of the road, and it will self-correct, and the steering wheel will jerk itself. I mean, not jerk itself like crane off the edge.
Will it?
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah,
my
these
kind
are-
of car. Good exhaust.
But it will adjust itself to straighten it back out on the road. Very neat stuff. You can turn this off too. Another reason why I'm 100% for self-driving cars, 100% of the people, is if we have self-driving cars, we will be able to get rid of traffic lights. And we will be able to get rid of traffic jams. They will no longer exist. The main reason for this is the fact that with computers automating or controlling when you're going and stopping, everything goes at the same exact time. Everything stops at the exact same time. None of this delayed reaction that causes a weird pileup. There's actually a wonderful video on this I'll share with you guys sometime with what would happen if computers control cars. So yeah, I'm 100% for fully automated driving cars. What I do want is always for the option to control myself. I don't think it would be very wise to take that control out of a person's hand.
Okay.
Although I do live in a place where driving is not a forte of many people.
Okay. Well, that's some good insight. So my second question, this leads actually to the second question. Now, let's say this becomes a standard by 2020, 2030, whatever, and it's just literally tell the car where to go, it goes, and you can sit back and, you know, I'm assuming you're still in the driver's seat technically,
Yeah.
where you can override it. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you don't have to. You're not supposed to. You just let it take the wheel, literally. If you get into an accident, no matter what the accident is, who's at fault?
So if there's actually been talk on this kind of thing, with those kind of instances, it would be looked at as a software, by the auto manufacturer, which would have probably ties with your insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But
your insurance wouldn't go up, but your insurance would pay for it.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Mhm.
But the auto manufacturer would technically be at fault, so I'm not sure if the insurance company would go to the auto manufacturer, who would also go to the software developer, who is probably the universal software developer. Because if we're doing something like that, there's not going to be like, it's going to be a monopoly. You're not going to have 40 different companies offering self-driving programming for their cars.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So piggybacking on that question leads me to another one. So let's say you're in the city and you're in your self-driving car having a good old time with the wife and kid, cutting up, having fun. But some people cross the street.
Right.
When they're not signaled to. And
Right.
once again, this is just an example.
Yep.
The car has to make the decision to avoid the people or crash into a wall. What's it going to do?
It's going to crash into the people. The new...
oh yeah, those people are fucked. Yeah. Okay. Very
No,
matter of fact.
it's actually already designed on that XC90 I was talking about.
Okay.
The XC90 for the 2016 year, it has, it's going to sound so crazy to you guys because it sounded crazy as shit to me when I first heard it. It has, cameras all in the front that detect when there's a person walking across the road. Your brakes will automatically kick in. So let's say, the chance happened where, let's do something fast, like a bike. Let's say a bike rode out right in front of your car, where even though you're the car's automatically slamming on its brakes at lightning speed,
Mm-hmm.
the momentum's still going.
Mm-hmm.
So the biker hits your car.
Mhm.
The car actually has airbags on the hood.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. The car has airbags on the hood for just such an instance.
So what if it's a cat?
Cat's dead.
Okay.
Seriously though, that's another thing that has been asked. The software that detects people, it detects people. It detects people in cars. It can detect large dogs. It is not going to detect a chipmunk or a squirrel or a cat or a chihuahua. Sorry, Steve.
Sorry, Alvin.
Poor pup.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yep. There you go. Any more questions? This is fun. I get to try to...
No, those are actually only the main ones that I had because I didn't know anything about it, and I didn't think you did either. I thought this conversation was going a way different direction.
Nope. I loved studying Volvo because they force you to study about these cars.
Right.
Unfortunately, you rarely had somebody come in and buy a Volvo. They mostly came in to buy Audis or Volkswagen. But, Volvo has it on top. I'm sure there's other auto manufacturers that are doing similar stuff, but it's rather amazing the way that they view driving and how it will be viewed in the future.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I guess that kind of makes me feel a little better about the whole thing in general, but I don't know. There's still that, like, I don't know.
That's the way technology is. I mean, I had an old lady the other day, 2 days ago, come up to me at work. I wasn't saying shit to her. And she came up to me and said, "Did you know that having your cell phone in your back pocket is bad?" I was like, "What?" Because I pulled up my cell phone in front of her. And I said, "Huh?"
Man.
The radio waves, they're bad for your stuff. I said, "Well, that's fine. I don't care. I don't want no kids." She goes, "No, it gives you cancer." And I said, "No, it doesn't, ma'am. That's ridiculous. The whole thing about radio waves that are emitted from cell phones is blown out of proportion. The one study that shows that there is an increase in brain cancer, it was a specific kind of cancer that nobody really searched for. Now we actually search for it. So yeah, there's more of a rise of that type of brain cancer. It has nothing to do with the cell phones. It has to do with the fact that we now look for it on a more frequent basis. When new technology comes into the fray, people are naturally against it. It's just our natural defense mechanism. When radios,
huge.
right. And when radios first came out, people thought the government not the government, people thought that other people could listen to them. There were scares on that kind of thing. Because if sound's coming out, of course sound can go in and go somewhere else. So this is a common problem. But with all those issues, the same answer is there, and that's knowledge, education, understanding what the and what you're doing right now is perfect. Asking these questions is absolutely perfect. This is what you need to do to rest these fears.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So yeah, I'm 100% for it. And again, I dream of a day where there's no traffic lights. I think that's going to be amazing.
Okay. Well, that was not the way I thought this was going to go, but that's good to know. So
Real quickly,
I almost thought that like doing this was going to be like a debate, you know, about the questions that I was asking. That's what I was kind of hoping for, but Matt's like, "Nope, I already know all about this shit." So
yeah,
shut you down.
He went on space travel on that one.
yeah. So anyway, it's still good to talk about. I mean, I'm genuinely curious.
And Steve, what were you about to say about it?
About technophobia, like people are scared of new things. So can you imagine how afraid people were of the atomic bomb? And that worked out so well. Like, just give it a chance.
But they weren't. They weren't afraid. That was the weird one. That's like the one time people were
Duck and cover.
"Oh, no, atomic bombs. This is great. We're gonna have nuclear reactors inside of our house."
Oh boy.
Duck and cover, because you know that blast that's like, you know, the same temperature as like, I don't know, the sun is going to help you.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Little turtle.
The South Park episode from the first season with the volcano.
Yes.
And they use that duck and kava. And the lava rolls over them. Like,
That's right.
that is the most ridiculous load of pig crap I've ever seen.
By the way, watch the new South Park episodes. They are pretty damn funny right now.
I loved the last season. It was pretty great. And then how long has it been since the season they aired? Like the last one? Because I keep checking it. It's just always the same episodes over and over.
Yeah, they come out every year, September.
Yeah.
Really? Because this one seemed like it was like 2 years ago. The last season.
And they've got these things called member berries. They're berries that will
I
talk
saw
to you
it.
and tell you about memories. Like, remember Jurassic Park? Yeah, remember? Remember Star Wars? Remember Chewbacca? Yeah, I remember Chewbacca.
All right.
So,
Moving on.
Yeah.
For the sake of time, moving on, okay?
All right.
Matt, what's your topic?
So my topic, it's more of a discussion that I want to have with you guys. But I'm learning from Steven. Steven had an actual like model plan for his top 10 and he had like written words. So I'm trying to be a little bit more professional here.
Written words, man. I had a fucking piece of paper with scribbly shit on it.
Were they written words?
Yeah, technically.
I stand by what I said. So
I can show it to you. It's fucking chicken scratch, yo.
So I would like to discuss music albums.
All right.
Was I supposed to make a list for this?
No.
Okay.
Now it's impulsive.
I guess if you want to be ahead of the curve, think about the last albums you bought and think about your favorite albums
Yeah,
and think about your favorite songs from the albums. So if you want to think about that while I discuss. So here's the thing. I got Spotify, as I've preached.
Mm-hmm.
I love Spotify. I think it's the most amazing thing out there because it allows me the full album.
Right.
Unlike Pandora, which is great because it introduced me to new bands based on an algorithm of the songs that I liked. But I never got to listen to everything that artist had. So, with that being said, I've noticed that a lot of people don't really care about albums. When I'm at work, I try to play music that, everybody can kind of get along with that's around me because my speaker's loud. I don't want to play, mindless self-indulgence and people be like, oh my God, what are they saying? Stupid motherfucker. No, shut that up. I had Richard Cheese playing People Equal Shit by Slipknot. And I had a woman from like all the way on the other side go, what the fuck is that? Oh, not playing Richard Cheese again, I guess. So, but anyway, the people that I work around, the thing they like the most is songs that they have heard on the radio. And that's understandable. It really is. I fully get behind that. It instantly brings up memories and everything. But I think the respect of an album is dying. And I think we are becoming a society where singles are all that matters.
Yep.
And that's all we listen to.
Oh yeah, because it's cheap. It's 99 cents.
That too. But I also wonder what that
it's
means.
technically cheaper to buy an album.
It is.
I wonder what that means for our future as far as music goes. Because I think there'll always be a place for albums when it comes to garage bands. I mean, not literal garage bands, but bands that are up and coming. Because that's where they make their money. They're not going to make their money off of the same 8 songs they played on the stage. They want to play the 12 songs from their 3 albums. Or 12 songs from their 3 albums.
Right.
So I wanted to get an opinion with you guys. Do you see album sales or what happening? What do you think is going to happen to the album? And before we get into that, I do want to say statistic wise, I have a amazing chart here and it has the millions of units that were sold of everything from 8-tracks in the 70s to downloaded singles and downloaded albums. Mm-hmm. And downloaded albums equals a very, very small percentage. Looking at this chart, it looks about to be 1/13 of downloaded singles. Which is really strange when you think about the content in an album. You think about the content of an album, you have 13 songs.
Yeah, huh?
I have an opinion about that.
Go right ahead.
And
now,
I'm not
also send this to you guys so you can see it because I think it's pretty important to actually have a visual.
And before I can go forward, I have to go back. And
back in
for
time.
me, yeah, kind of. Before we go into our favorite, albums and all that. when I was in high school and even college, I bought CDs by the drove. I mean, like, something came out, I heard one song from it, and I would just buy the whole CD, didn't give a shit. And of course, that was probably monetarily wise, that was, another time, but a lot more times than not, the song that I originally heard I liked, obviously, I bought the CD, but the rest of the CD was garbage.
Really? Okay.
And I can think of a few instances, but maybe that's, I'm not saying that everybody thinks that, but maybe that's just where it's going. Like, maybe people know that not every song on this album is going to be a winner. For them. And maybe that's why they came out with singles on, like, cassette tapes and even CDs for a while. They were like, $3 or $4 for a single CD, which is stupid in my opinion. But when I look back at it now with iTunes, where it's 99 cents, like, well, yeah, why would you want to pay all that extra money for songs that you may or may not like? I'm not saying that I agree with that 100%. I think that if you're willing to give one song a chance, you should give all of them a chance. But that's my personal opinion. I know not everybody's going to share that. And that's the only reason in my mind I could think of why that is.
Okay. Steven, I'm looking at this chart, and it does have a very small sliver of LPs and vinyls. I know that's you guys up there, so...
With
I'm glad to see.
With your albums and 8-track.
I'm glad. No, the 8-tracks died in 82, if you look at there.
But, I just picked up a vinyl of new Ray Charles album.
The new one?
Brand spanking new up here. Yeah, the new one.
I didn't see that coming.
It's like his second album. We just got that here.
Wow.
Oh,
when that movie Ray comes out, you're going to be blown away, let me tell you.
Oh my God, they made a movie about him?
They did.
Oh man.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
It's called Walk the Line.
No.
Oh,
Wrong one.
Oh, shit.
But did they spell, they should have spelled walk like Joaquin Phoenix, like for that movie? Like walk the line.
They're going to say like Christopher Walken. Have him play Johnny Cash.
You play your music. In
the power of statistics. Holy shit.
Burning, ringer, fire. Oh, it's actually more.
Yeah.
Shatner,
yeah. Let's just admit that some of our impressions are terrible. So yeah.
Yeah. See, what about this? What's the last album you guys bought?
The last album I bought was 3 years ago.
Wow.
And that was the latest Dave Matthews one, which was not good.
Okay. Cool. Steven?
Which broke my heart.
Well, okay, so I had not bought a single item of music in years. I think the very last actual album that I had bought was like this, not counting, like, does this count like thrift store finds as well?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I think any time you buy a physical piece, that's good for anybody's mind because you're expounding your knowledge of a certain band.
Okay,
it's not giving money to the band, of course, but
well, yeah. Well, prior to this, the last time I bought a CD was, I think it would have been Offspring, Splinter, years and years ago. And then I did not buy a single physical album until I found Now 2 in the thrift store. I'm like, fucking 90s shit, yo! So I bought that.
Nice. Go ahead.
Like, I haven't actually spent any money on digital music at all either, because I would like redeem codes from, like, you guys remember iCoke?
Yep.
Well, we had a similar thing. It was MyCoke Rewards. Not nearly as good, like everything here, but still okay. So I redeemed a couple of songs that way.
Don't sell yourself short, Steven. You got good maple syrup.
You guys do have a good maple syrup.
That's true.
Your money smells
good
like
money that smells like it. Yes, money, yes. So, that being said, Splinter was the last album, and then most recently it was Now 2. I got that a year ago. For the way.
I I was listening to Splinter just last week. I am obsessed with music. I think it's probably the most important thing in my world. The only two things that I could honestly say I would hate to live life with is not being able to walk.
Herpes?
No, I'm okay with that still.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay.
Really not that bad. No, I'm just kidding. So walking, because I don't know why, I just love that freedom. And being able to listen to music. I would despise a world without music.
I agree.
Yeah, but if it never existed, how would you know?
Well, if somebody came along and outlawed it all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
I think music is natural because you have birds tweeting, you have rivers that babble in a certain rhythm. It's not something that would have never have come about. Every culture has music.
Tap your fingers on
regardless.
Your fucking annoyed.
Right. Every culture has music. It's a natural thing for humans.
Calm down, Steven.
Shut up!
You shut up.
Make sure you have a Kleenex nearby. So, I would like to say that some of my favorite songs of all time have been album exclusive. That it goes for The Offspring. That goes for Gorillaz. That goes for Blur, since Gorillaz. That goes for that goes for a shit ton of bands. I can't even think of them all right now. I think albums are a very important part of music, but they're going away. But I think they will always hold ground with startup bands. But we can't argue the fact that most people make their money now off of the singles.
Yeah.
What the hell just happened here?
I don't know what happened. You have a ghost?
Oh, I have a ghost. Did you guys hear that?
I heard a ghost.
That was weird.
That might have been my pillow falling, but that's the only thing I can think it could have been.
So I want to end this with this statement from this is me becoming a professional. Yeah.
Calm down.
From Bob Lefsitz, who's a music analyst. If your plan is to increase your audience, spread the word, and make money, suddenly the album just isn't working anymore. We've turned into a nation of grazers, and the artist's job is to constantly be at the smorgasbord. Not to deliver one big meal that is picked at and thrown away, but to constantly prove tantalizing bites to the public.
Makes sense.
And I think to bands like, oh, and by the way, one of my favorite bands is actually Canadian. I mean, I don't hold that against them too much.
Stars?
But Enter the Haggis. And they are an Irish, Scottish kind of band, folk band. And they, I've been listening to them all day today, actually. And I live off their albums because they don't have singles. They don't have things that are played on the radio. But they do have singles where they make music videos that they deem some of their best songs. But I think album is where the real meat and potatoes are.
Well, yeah, when you can find an album that speaks to you in whatever way, then that's a special thing. But I just don't know if there's enough albums out there. I mean, of course, it depends on the person too, right? But no, I agree with what you just read.
Do you guys
and I was like you. Go ahead.
Do you guys give a shit about Garth Brooks?
No.
Okay, well, he refuses to sell any of his shit piecemeal. He's like album or nothing. So you can't find any of his shit on YouTube, like single songs. It's all fucking covers and like karaoke shit. And you cannot buy a single on any music platform. You can't even find them on like Spotify or Apple Music. Because fuck you, you're buying my album or you ain't buying shit.
Well, hopefully that's going good for him.
I hope so too.
Have you ever seen his wife's diamond ring? Yes, it's going well for him.
We just lost
his wife's his what? Can you hear me?
There you go.
I can, yeah.
Oh, his wife's diamond ring could like buy and sell countries. All right, I'm serious. I was watching some cooking show with my mom, and I was like, "Who the hell is this woman? Why is she even famous?" Oh, that's Garth Brooks' wife. And I said, "Well, what is she going to mix with? That goddamn thing on her hand? Because it's just huge." So yeah, I think he's doing all right.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I'm looking him up right now, and that's an amazing bit of information. Got to respect him for that.
I wonder if he's doing the
In my
Chris
opinion.
Gaines album in single form.
I don't know his music well enough to know anything about that. Oh, that's right. The his Ultra Persona.
Yeah. Chris something.
Yeah,
Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines. Yep.
I wonder if
Got
that's
all
a
about
single, because yes, so did the rest of the world until I mentioned it.
Chris
No, when you
Gaines.
mentioned Garth Brooks,
What?
that's the first thing that I thought about, but I couldn't remember his name, and I don't remember any of his songs. But anyway, I think Spotify will eventually kind of do what CD sales used to do. I'm like you, Brian. I spent easily $100 every month on a slow month on CDs. I have a huge CD collection, and I love it. But
I got rid of mine.
I maybe had like 20 to max my entire life. Now I have like,
Okay.
I'm more of a single person. Like, that's why I love the music things like Spotify and buying single songs, because Matthew Good is like my favorite artist, right? Like, I fucking love him. And there are very scattered songs of his that I like. There's approximately like maybe 30 to 40 of them out of his like 80 or 90 songs, and the other ones I just can't even really listen to. It's just like I don't really like this very much. But the ones that I do, I fucking love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever get a chance, listen to Hoobastank.
I found a reason for me.
Oh, you have that, but Ray Charles just now got to you? Oh my god, how backwards is that place?
But if you listen to Hoobastank,
You upside down over here.
their entire album sounds like it could be singles.
Yeah, it's all like very self-contained.
Yeah, it's a very amazing album. That one album. So I would highly recommend listening to that as an example of what a good album is. When you want something from a band and you want more of it, that's where you go for it. Like Linkin Park. Think about Linkin Park. Everybody had that. You know, they had a great.
I told the story, man. It was like it was like it had to be sequential. It all fucking mixed in one another.
Right.
I love Meteora. Fuck,
Meteora's a goddamn great album. Yeah.
So I got a note from a listener here that Garth Brooks refuses all digital media. He needs his albums to be taken as a whole. So like physical only for this guy apparently.
That's a bold move,
It really is.
considering like nobody buys CD. But I wonder, part of me wonders if, like, I understand country is big for a lot of people, but I wonder if it's as big. Like, I'm trying
It's
to
still
figure
big down south.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Never mind. I thought I was going somewhere with that, but I guess not.
I mean, when
I
you
think
look at
Taylor
country,
Swift also doesn't.
oh
Like,
no,
Taylor
so
Swift won't allow
T
herself
Swift
on
is
just that.
she's not even on Spotify. So
No, she refuses. So
yeah,
And that really sucks, because I really wanted to fucking hear that. What the fuck is that song?
I wear
out-
these
Stein.
pants. You wear
Shake it.
those pants.
I like pants.
I wear pants.
Yeah.
Pants.
Oh, that T Swift.
Yeah, actually, so Garth Brooks is also not on Spotify.
Right, because digital.
Yep. Just like T Swift, the only songs you can get are ones that are actually licensed to different companies. Like Taylor Swift has stuff that's licensed with Hunger Games, so those are on there.
Right. Shit that she's already made her proper money for licensing.
Yep.
Right. Huh.
Okay. To keep it going really quick.
Yeah, go on.
Favorite album ever, and the best album you've heard recently.
Shit. I haven't heard a full album recently.
God damn it. One of my favorite albums is the Pulp Fiction soundtrack.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's
Uh-huh.
just
I
I can listen to that one a lot, but I'm gonna have to go with Third Eye Blind's
Really?
self-titled album. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God, but Gorillaz always has me with just about it.
Yeah, it's hard.
So, but I'm gonna go with Third Eye Blind. Yeah, I carried that CD with me all through high school and still carry to this day. And I've bought that one probably about 4 or 5 times.
I think for me, the automatic go-to is Dave Matthews Band, Under the Table and Dreaming. And for some reason that CD literally changed my life. And people say like, oh, it'll change your life. Most of the time, no, it doesn't. It changed my life. Like after getting that CD this summer, it came out, and I went back to school. I think I was in like a junior in high school. Like everything changed. Like my whole disposition. Like I don't know what it was, but everything was just like awesome.
Nice.
Please note
So
that
you
that's
had
the
a-
album that's credited.
Like you had an Office Space moment.
Kinda, yeah. And like for a long time too. Like I was just like, yeah, all right, cool. Life doesn't suck right now. Because before I was into grunge. Like if you asked me like what, like going back to like the grunge era, I would probably tell you like Stone Temple Pilots' Purple album.
That
would
had
be
Plush on it.
Plush had Core. Core
Yeah.
had Plush on it, yeah.
Oh, Core had Plush. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sunday Girl is on.
Yeah.
that one.
No, Sour Girl is on number 4.
God damn, I don't remember my STP albums anymore then. Shit.
But as far as a recent one though, I'm gonna say 1975 self-titled album.
That was a great
Oh
album.
yeah, that's right. Recent. I forgot about that. Recent. All right. How about the last album I bought? It's been a couple months, but I bought a group called Nightmares on Wax. They're very stoner music. It's funny how much stoner music I listen to that I'm not a stoner, but I have to say that for work purposes.
Okay.
But they have a song on there called "You Wish," and it's just holy shit. Just lay back, relax, listen to this. It's fantastic.
Cool. Steven, you want to end this topic?
Yeah, so best album ever would be A Boy Named Goo by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Good one.
That fucking I burned out a CD player listening to that.
He's like, I don't
Like
want
I
to do this
put it on
anymore.
every night. Like I just like, and that was actually an album I could listen to start to finish, just like every single time. Because like, there's the songs that are done by the main guy John Resnick, and then there's the other one by Robbie Tekach.
Yes.
And the Robbie ones, nobody really gives a shit about. You never hear any of those on the radio. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. And nobody gives a shit about Robbie though. And I'm like, oh, who's this guy? He's a scratchy voice guy. He sounds like this, yeah. And fucking, and I heard his songs and I'm like, hey, he's pretty cool. I like this. Yeah, all right. So,
Right.
and the Robbie songs can become some of my favorites actually of the Goo Goo Dolls. So that one kind of sticks with me just as part of my my youth as being one of my favorite albums ever.
Okay.
Most recently, an album by a local musician, not so much local, he's from I think Kingston or something like that, somewhere close by. He opened up for Matt Good when we went to see him in concert last December. His name is Scott Hellman. I bought his album because it was on for $1. Really?
Actually, yeah, it does. That last name sounds familiar. And it's not because I know somebody with that last name. Like, I literally, musically wise, I think I've heard about him.
Okay. Well, that's good. Maybe you like saw like a thing posting on my thing or something.
Well,
Who knows?
that could be it, but to be fair, I don't listen to the radio. Like, I'm the biggest
You would
snob
not
when
be
it
on
comes to the
American
radio.
radio.
Yeah.
Like if you don't
I
know what the
go-
Tragically Hip is, you'd never hear about him.
Like, I'm like if everybody was going to brand me as a hipster, it would be for my music choices now. Because I don't listen to the radio, I don't give a shit what's in the radio for the most part. Every once in a while, there's a winner. But I'll go to Metacritic, I'll go to Rolling Stone first before I ever listen to a radio again.
They play some really good stuff on the Mexican radio.
They do.
Whoa. On the Mexican radio.
Yo.
Whoa. Sorry.
I really don't listen to a whole lot of music now either. The only music I'll actually probably listen to is like the recent incarnation of the alternative genre.
Yes.
Like
I
I
don't
like
even
a
know
lot of the like Like the 1975 is a recent incarnation of alternative.
Right.
What do you guys do
Or,
during sex?
Florence and the Machine. Like Florence and the Machine is new for me. I've discovered them and I enjoy them very much.
What do you mean for music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listen to my wife. That's music to my ears.
Somebody's getting some.
Pew, pew.
I like some, like Metalocalypse or Among Amarth, some death metal playing. That really gets my blood going. Anyway.
Goo Goo Dolls, though, the one after, I think it's Dizzying Up the Girl, I think was the next one. After.
Yeah, Dizzy was the next one.
That's the one I identify with the most. Not that the other one was bad by any stretch of imagination, but I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that was also like that was in my Goo Goo Dolls phase, so that was right up there.
Yeah.
And then I kind of lost it after Gutterflower.
I like Gutterflower for the most part. The other guy who sings, not Resnick, but the other guy that you mentioned, he has a song on there that I really like. And it's early on in the CD, but I can't remember the name of it to save my life. Anyway.
It was on Gutterflower?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry for making this go on for so long, but I'm going to end it with this one last thing.
Okay.
You guys remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yeah. I
I don't know why, but I remember when MTV was taking in requests, I sent in Goo Goo Dolls versus Foo Fighters. I always thought that'd be
The Foo Fighters.
5-3, but yeah, I'd rather Foo Fighters win. But yeah, that's all.
The track was "You Never Know."
Yes, that's I like that song.
That's like the first song he does in that album.
Yep.
That was a great one too, actually. Gutterflower was probably the last good one.
Yeah.
That I enjoyed.
Yep. Okay. To end this, and I'm going to try not to take too long because I know you guys want to go to bed and all that good stuff. And but I think it's time for you guys and for me and the listeners to know what's going on. The last few weeks have been very strange for me. And what I mean by that is, as you guys...
Stranger Things?
No, not quite that strange. Awesome. No. Can I get that theme music playing every time I wake up in the morning?
That should be my alarm.
Yeah, it should. Wow. But
we're
it's
gonna
so
make a
light,
point.
though,
We're gonna
which
make
is
a point to watch that, by the way.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch Stranger
Yeah, you are.
Things.
I realize that you guys know that I've been writing game review articles and doing videos and all this stuff.
Yeah.
With these different
Well, of course. We know.
websites. But to go back a little bit before we go into that, I created Nerd Theory as a separate Facebook page. And the reason I did that was because it came to a realization that not all my friends get into the same things that I do. In fact, I don't even know why I have that many friends on Facebook in the first place. But I decided to shift it to somewhere where I can just share the news. I don't have to report it. I just want to share what's going on. Whether it's from comingsoon.com, IGN, whatever, game, music, television.
Keep going.
No, I can't, because when that's on, I have to listen to it. God damn it, Steven. I was going to my bits, and then you had to...
No, it was supposed to have emotional weight.
Okay, if it was a little bit of a longer song, then yes.
I have a 10-minute version.
Do you really? Well, don't play it right
Yeah.
now.
Okay, continue, please.
So, and then from there stemmed the YouTube channel, where I just decided to do like unboxing videos and just me in front of the camera giving random thoughts about things like, news, whether it's movie, games, so on and so forth. And I kind of got out of it when I started writing video game reviews and movie reviews and even anime reviews in some respect. Now, for the last few years, I've been going from website to website with the hopes of it playing out to something. And I was in the middle of writing a review, my last review that I did, and I thought to myself, why the fuck am I doing this? And the reason I say that is because I keep on putting in all this work, these thousands of words, these videos, and nothing ever comes of it.
You're patting someone else's pocket, bro.
And in some cases, yes. But to me, it's cool, when you get so many thousand views on your article, and that's rewarding. But the fact of the matter is, and what I've realized over the few years, is that the written word doesn't mean shit anymore for a lot of people. And what I mean by that is I could write articles upon articles about the game industry. These clickbait articles are like, what happens if the Nintendo doesn't do well, blah, 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 or the NX or whatever, But
they never actually get to the point of what their original title was.
But they look at the title and base their opinion off that. It's like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? He doesn't know anything about Nintendo. Obviously, he knows nothing about this industry. Like, just read the article. Same thing with reviews. I'm writing at least 1,000-word reviews for someone just to skip over it to go right to the rating. That's it. And I know that happens. Now, and once again, I realize that there's people out there that actually do read these things, and I appreciate that. But for me to put in this much work for minimal gain wasn't worth it anymore. So I'm like, but I like doing it. So if I want to keep on doing this, I'm going to do it my own way. And thus, Nerd Theory is being reborn into something else.
Nerd Theory 2.0.
Yeah, exactly.
Reloaded.
And MPG is the core of it. So.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, and I'm not.
I can't handle the pressure.
And it's not. God. It's honestly, in all honesty, though, guys, it's stuff that we already do. We're just recording it. That's
pretty
it.
Well.
You know what I mean? And we're trying to make a point of that, which we're going to start to do because you've seen the intros to certain videos and all that, and what I've been doing now for the last couple weeks. But in order to do that, in order for this to go on, like I hope it does, I created a Patreon page for us, Nerd Theory. And if anybody doesn't know what Patreon is, like everybody compares it to Kickstarter, I don't think it's quite like Kickstarter because you are consistently getting things every month. Whereas you pay for one thing, you get the one thing whenever it comes out. This is Patreon, something that there's a reward tier. You can, for $1 you get this, for $5 you get this, and it stacks and stacks and stacks. October 1st is when I'm pushing the button to publish it. And there's a lot of things on there, like, and you guys seen it. I gave you the preview link. But like this podcast, getting it early, the After Dark special, getting that. After that, like when I hit October 1st, After Dark episodes are exclusive. There's no After Dark that's going to be on iTunes or SoundCloud. There's exclusives in the sense of like pick your own topic, because there's 3 of us, but there's 4 topics total. So why not be that 4th person? The website is patreon.com/Nerd Theory. Pretty simple. October 1st is when it goes live. This is not going to be something that picks up right away. I'm well aware of this, as should you guys be as well.
You mean it hasn't picked up yet?
I haven't published it yet.
Well, what the fuck? Why hasn't it picked up yet, though?
Who's been paying my rent?
The idea behind this is to not only for us or for me and you, but to be a creative outlet for other people to join at some point. Once again, it's not going to happen overnight. If you're a creator of video content or audio content, and this is what Nerd Theory, as of right now, is strictly going to be, there's no written word except for the description in the YouTube video or whatever. I'm not going to write reviews. I'm not going to tell anybody to write a review unless it gets to the point where that makes sense. And as of right now, in my opinion, it doesn't. I think people just want more to listen to and more to watch.
I agree.
And that's
Go ahead.
I
also got to say this. Today I just saw, for the first time ever, I was I was reading something. I was reading an article.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually it told me I had to watch an advertisement to continue reading that article. The rest of the article wouldn't load.
Yeah, it sucks.
I've seen ones that are like where you have to like fucking answer a questionnaire. It's like, no, fuck you. How about I find the news somewhere else?
Exactly. So not only is written word kind of declining, they're not making shit better. They're putting the nails in the coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So.
And once again, that could change, but as of right now, that's just my personal opinion. And the video content, as of right now, is going to be as follows, starting probably this weekend, for anybody who's interested. We have the podcast, which we do. That's broken up day by day, the following week on iTunes and SoundCloud. That's not going to change. That's going to remain the same. And it'll be on YouTube as well if you want to listen to it on YouTube for whatever reason. After that, video game reviews. Video reviews. Written, of course, when we do video reviews, we have to write it out because we have to know what we're talking about. But I don't believe that reviews in general need to be 1,000 words all the time. There's games that condone that like Fallout, for example, or No Man's Sky. Those are games that you should probably do 1,000 words if you're writing an article. But games like, smaller games, I guess. I
did Soft Body. That was not an 1,000-word game.
And there's no point in that. I don't feel like blowing smoke up people's asses anymore. It's good for these reasons, I'll get into those. It's bad for these reasons, I'll get into those. Case closed. Give the final score at the end of the video. Have a good day. There's also the Let's Plays. There's also the kind of basically Let's Plays, but it involves our significant others and our daughters, which are all women.
Where applicable.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't even know where she lives.
Which one?
I know. Oh god, I have to track my checks. Oh god, what was the other one? Let's Plays, the Nerd Theory Plays, the ones with girls. Oh, and the retro and the retro ones. As of right now, that's on the docket, but that doesn't need to be the only thing that happens eventually. I have an idea for an anime review, series.
Oh.
Off anime that recently came out in Japan. I'm not talking about like, hey, let's rate this Cowboy Bebop show that's 20 years old. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
That's
about
cool. I
brand
got dib on Mob.
Yeah, sure. Why not? But what you have to understand though, these have to be recorded, which you can do through the software that I sent you guys, by the way. And then with your voice, you voicing over, your opinion on the episode and giving it its final grade, which we'll get into at some point. It's an early process. This isn't going to start completely, this week. I understand that. But I'm 37 years old. It's time to shit or get off the pot.
God damn, you're right. You're old.
And
that's the point he made.
Yeah, that's the point. Thanks,
My
Matt.
God, you're right. You're old.
Blow me. But for me,
I don't want dust in my mouth.
And maybe you guys too. Like, if you look on Patreon, shut up. And I just got that. If you look on Patreon and some of these other people, some of these other guys that are doing it, they're making it's a good business. And I want a good business too. I don't want to work for the man, as you would put, Steven, anymore, making minuscule amount for harder, for nothing.
Right.
And I think a lot of us can agree that we don't want to do that either. Because you're millennials and that's just what you do.
No, I don't care. I bend over. They give me lube. That's all that matters.
Yeah, okay. Well, fair enough. As long as it's lubed, I guess it's okay. Yeah. But I just think, at least for me, this is something that could be good. And if we are consistent with it in a way that makes sense to our audience, having something every week. We already have the podcast every week for the most part, but like something with a retro player, whatever, it will build. And hopefully everybody that's listening to this, please follow us on Twitch for these things. Go to our YouTube channel, /Nerd Theory channel, subscribe to that. There's so many things in this ecosystem that I've been working on that's all together. So that's where I'm at. And I invite and I've talked to other people too about doing content for it. Nothing's come of it yet, and they haven't, it's being discussed, with other people that I know. I don't believe that when you meet people that matter, they just go away. There's a rhyme or reason to why we meet the people, at least I believe the people that we do. And I think this is possibly maybe that reason. So take that with you, what you will. But that's where I like Nerd Theory to go.
Good deal.
I'll
I
be
agree.
with you right behind collecting the money.
Yeah, I bet. Let's calm down though. And there's goals.
Stephen
to be
will
set,
be with
right?
the broom, and I will be with the dustpan.
Listen, if I get
Bada
$15,
bing.
if I get $15 this first month just to pay for the fucking SoundCloud hosting, then I'll be happy. If I can,
Yeah, at least to be like kind of
yeah,
breaking a little bit.
yeah. If I can get $100 to get a new website, that'd be awesome. After that, there's no telling what can be done.
And people, if you're listening to this in retrospect and you want to donate to our Patreon, please donate and forget about it. That way we can keep drawing whatever amount of money you can. And
Yeah, just like
you
set
can't
it to auto renew on your credit card.
just go ahead and die. Make sure you don't leave a will, because that way that money will stay in your account and we can draw off of it.
That probably $1 every month.
Hey, you know what? Every dollar counts.
You're right.
$1 more.
Yep.
But in all seriousness, no, this is what's going to happen. And when you're listening to us live, or even when we're not live, we're probably going to mention the Patreon thing at least once, to get that through. Because we're
Do you have
worth...
to start going like and subscribe every time now?
No, well, at the end of this, for example, we're live right now. Please follow us on Twitch, blah, blah, blah. Just basically what I've already done, like, share the audio or, whatever the case may be, just in a broader range now.
Nice. I think the video thing is going to be an amazing change, because I like to let shit play in the background just for ambiance, but I do tend to prefer to go to YouTube for that stuff.
Sure.
Maybe it's because I have better computer speakers than phone
Maybe.
speaker.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at people like somebody I just found the other day, Super Gaming Brothers. These guys are playing because of my talk about Conker's Bad Fur Day the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck it, at least I can watch it if I can't play it.
Yeah.
So I'm watching these guys play it, and they're three guys. Funny enough, one of them's name is Matt. But they have the same kind of banter. They have the same kind of banter that we have. So I think and they have, 49,830 views on part 4 of Conker's Bad Fur Day. So I think the video thing is a wise move.
And that's something, too, that we kind of need to weed out as far as the video content, how long it needs to be and things like that. But that will come, when the time's needed.
Oh boy, will it.
Anybody else want to add anything before we end?
The fuck was that?
That was my phone. Yeah, I got one
Okay.
thing. I didn't get a congratulations, Matt. You're awesome and better than me.
Congratulations,
when
you're
I-
awesome, better than me. What'd you do?
When you, Stephen. When I beat you, Brian, in the Fantasy Movie League.
I didn't even pay
Even-
attention to what your score was.
Even though I forgot quite a few number of weeks. I kicked your butt.
What, that week?
No, for the summer.
Really?
Yeah, I beat you. And there's a lot of weeks I forgot, so I was pretty proud of that. And I forgot last week too, so I'm already off to a great start.
Okay. God, I thought you actually did something worthwhile.
Yeah, I beat you. Hey,
Yeah,
man,
eat it.
eat a dick. No,
That live. Steven, do you have anything to add before we sign off?
No, I'm just looking forward to the wondrous, wonderful things that we will do.
That was very
very
long
unspecific.
things that
I'm looking forward to seeing where Nerd Theory goes
I am too.
from here.
if you're listening to this in the future, come back and tell us.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another
When I
thing,
first
too. Go ahead.
when I first came on to NPG, when we first started this thing, I didn't really think it would go this way. Like, I know we're doing the podcast, but I didn't think about doing an entire media network situation.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, we could bring movie therapy back if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Things like that. So yeah. So everybody, please follow us on Twitch. We are the Non-Playable Geeks, MPG for short. This is episode 34. I am one of your hosts, Brian. And please, if you're watching this live, you see the ticker above telling you what the YouTube channels are and the Facebook. The Facebook page is made for, once again, movie, game, television news that comes through. So definitely get that, and we also post the MPG stuff on there as well, so you know what's going on. Next week will be the official start of the Patreon, so we will come back then with brand new topics. And anybody who's listening to this that's like, oh yeah, I want to donate to them on the Patreon. First of all, thank you. But just keep in mind when you donate, if you donate in October, your rewards, you will not see the rewards until November. So just keep that in mind. So if you pay that,
planting a seed.
yeah. So if you pay that $1, we don't see it until the beginning of November. And then that's when the rewards will go out for whatever, the amount people pledge. So there's that. I'm one of your hosts, Brian. With me, Stephen Fortune.
Word.
Wait, Jackson.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, Matt Jackson.
That's it.
No, Matt Jackson.
That's me.
Me, yeah, that's right.
Yep. All right, guys. Have a week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Where the hell is it? There it is.
Now it says offline.
I'm trying to stop the audio at the Skype recording.
We have 6 people watching.